So let's start with the most important skill of sales, and that is prospecting. If you don't get prospects, you do not get deals. It is that simple. The two go hand in hand. Prospecting is the heartbeat of sales. It's more important than closing deals. Anybody can close a deal, but where's your next one coming from? So what is prospecting? Put simply, prospecting is finding the people that might want to buy what you're offering. That's it. And if you don't have people to talk to, nothing else matters. There's two types of prospecting that I want to go over today. The first is inbound. Inbound means they come to you. Somebody fills out a form online with their information. Someone calls you directly or calls your business. Someone messages you online or shoots you an email, things like that. We all love inbound leads. They're warm, they're fuzzy, they're easy, they're laid out. But however you want to describe inbound leads, that's what they are. However, there's one problem that people don't face. Inbound leads means that there is more competition. If they are calling you, 9 times out of 10, they are actively searching for a service or a product that you offer. So if you rely heavily on inbound leads, that most likely means that you are having to deal with many more salespeople within the market that you're in to try and compete for that same client. And you can't necessarily control how many inbound leads come in. I mean, yeah, you can spend more money on marketing or make more content on social media or whatever the case is, but you can't always control how many come in. And that, my friends, leads us into the second type of prospecting you can do, which is my favorite, outbound prospecting. Outbound is the opposite of inbound. You make calls, you reach out to people, you go get them. We call these people hunters. I'm a hunter. I go get my own prospects because I can control my output. I can control how many people I call. I can control how many people I message, I email. Whatever the case is, I control that. The more people I reach out to, the more people I'm gonna talk to. It's numbers. If you make 100 calls a day and I make 200 calls a day, I am more likely to get a sale. So it's literally just work ethic and grind and discipline of being able to do it. Sales is not hard. It's tedious. Sometimes it can be annoying, but it is so rewarding. Outbound consists of cold calls, emails, door knocking, LinkedIn messages, social media DM, things like that. And when I say those things, most people get shut off immediately. There's probably 50-60% of the people that are still watching that probably clicked off this video just now when I said that.
Cut the show. I'm done. No, I don't want it.
And that's why I succeed in sales, and that's why you will too. Because there's a lot of people who do not want to partake in the activity and do what it takes to be successful. Face it, if you're in sales, you're going to have to reach out to people. It is not that hard. It's gonna be awkward at first. It's gonna be challenging at first, figuring out what to say. Maybe you feel like you're not good on the phones. Maybe you're not getting a lot of responses, but you can make 100 calls a day, right? And you could be sweating, you could be drained, you could be emotionally shot. But the moment somebody picks up that phone and agrees to a phone call with you or agrees to an appointment with you, you are going to get that second win, and it is going to feel amazing. That is one of the best feelings in sales. If you've been in sales and you're still watching this video, please type in the comments how it feels when you get that first sale of the day, or if you meet your quota on the last day of the month, or you've spent all day no, and then you finally get that yes. Please tell everybody how it makes you feel. Tell me how it makes you feel, because that's one of the best feelings ever. Outbound gives you control. Control gives you consistency. When you have consistency, you have predictability in your income. Once your income is predictable, you figure out what to tweak to continue to increase your income. Top salespeople never solely rely on inbound leads. Again, inbound leads are great, but learn how to go out and get it. Learn how to hunt. That's one thing that I'm gonna teach you. I love prospecting personally. Call me crazy. I'm not gonna break down individually each method on how to prospect, but I do have great information when it comes to that, but that'll make this video way too long. So what I'm gonna do is make different videos on how to do that. What I say on a cold call, how I find the people when I cold call, and things like that, or emails, or whatever you want me to go over, just recommend that down in the comments or reach out to me directly. And I have no problem doing that. I need you to do that actually, because I would love to have more ideas on videos to post. But since we're just going over the basics, let's go over my 3 most favorite prospecting methods that I use and just little tips on how to be effective when doing those. The first one, my personal favorite, I live by this method: cold calling. Everybody hates it. I love it. Cold calling is not dead. It will never be dead. But the things that are very important, all you got to do is just be calm, be clear, be respectful. If they tell you not to call them back, don't call them back. If they tell you to take their name off a list, take their name off a list. If their phone number is on a do not call registry, do not call them. The last tip of cold calling, you are not, I repeat, you are not looking to get the sale on the first call. If you cold call and you think you're gonna get a sale on the first call, you're gonna hate cold calling. Cold calling is not to get a sale on the first call. But you do want to get on the first call. You want to get their agreement to an appointment. You want to meet them in person. You want to get them to agree to another phone call or a virtual phone call. Whatever the case is, the main point of cold calling is to extend and nurture that relationship so the next time you call, it won't be cold. It'll be a warm call. At least warmer, because they've heard of you before. They know what you do. They're going to remember your voice as long as you stay consistent and persistent. Again, unless they tell you not to call them explicitly. But stay in contact with them. Every time they hear from you, you are going to grow that relationship slowly but surely. I promise you that. My second method is emails. Emails work when it's short. Nobody wants to read a novel. Also, stay away from AI when it comes to emails. Everybody just, hey, produce me an email to send to this prospect. No, don't do that. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know how to distinguish a personal email or a personal message and one that is generated by AI, you're behind. Most people do. So with that being said, you're immediately going to raise a red flag if you just have an AI produced email and you just copy and paste it. No, personalized. Now, you can use AI to give you ideas. You can use AI to research certain companies. You can use AI to polish an email that you created. I love doing that. But in terms of just telling AI to produce an email for you, please do not do that. You will not see success. Yes, email has a lower response rate than a cold call, but you got to think about it. Don't take it personal. An email, if you read an email, it's going to be a lot easier for you to just click to the next email or open up another tab, rather than if you're on the phone with somebody, you're going to be less likely to just hang up on them. So that is why emails have a lower response rate. However, to counter that, you can actually increase your output. I like emails because you can do a lot faster than phone calls. You gotta find the number, you gotta wait for the phone to ring, you gotta wait for them to answer. Emails, you can just bang, 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 just knock them out. Yes, again, be personable, be respectful, but also be short. Again, nobody wants to read a book when they read an email, especially a first email. One idea, one question, and also explain briefly what you do and why you're reaching out to them. The third that I really love, that I think is kind of slept on actually, is LinkedIn. But I need you to listen to what I'm about to say. LinkedIn is a conversation tool. It is not a pitching machine. Use LinkedIn to grow your network, make connections, nurture relationships, meet new people. Start with curiosity. What do people do? Be interested. If you're interested, you're going to be interesting. Make an observation. If it's something that you respect about what they do or the company that they work for or their business that they're running, tell them. But tell them with no strings attached. Don't make it seem like you're telling them this and then hit them with the, hey, buy my product. No, like genuinely say something that you respect about this person. If you don't respect anything or can't find anything that you respect, don't say anything. Move on to the next. You have to be genuine. People can tell, man, it's 2026. People can tell when you're being fake. But when you get that relationship and you do start talking to these people, if you're going to start talking about your business, make sure you lead with value. You don't just want to come across as a person who talks about themselves all the time. How can I help you? Now, if they ask you what you do, feel free to tell them, but don't lead with that. A good book to read recommendation is Gary V, Jab, 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 Right Hook. Jab is essentially giving. Give, and then you can ask. So read that book, it's one of my favorites. So those are my 3 favorite methods of prospecting in terms of outbound. But the point of this whole message is prospecting is not about being annoying. It's about being consistent. If you're consistent and you make prospecting a non-negotiable, you will win. If you avoid prospecting and keep putting it off and keep making excuses because it's boring or it's tedious, you might want to look into finding another industry. If you got value out of this, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more, but also put down in the comments your favorite method of prospecting, some struggles that you deal with, ask some questions in the comments to something you might want an answer to, or reach out to me directly, that's fine as well. I also built an assessment, it's called the Alpha Sales Aptitude Test. Comment the acronym ASAT, that's ASAT, if you want to learn more about it. It's a sales assessment that assesses you in 5 different categories. Prospecting is one of the categories that it assesses you in. It'll generate you a full score, a detailed report explaining certain areas that you can work on. It'll give you practices and resources on how to improve in those specific areas. And I think it's a really good tool if you just want to know where you're at in terms of your sales skills. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to tell if a prospect is actually worth your time. So I'll see you in the next one.